Welcome to the CC United slideshow to increase positional awareness throughout the 11 and 12 age group. This slideshow will not only be part of player evaluations for 12-year-old players and older, as on day 2 of tryouts they will be trying out for a position, but it will improve our team's effectiveness as our players will have a greater understanding of each player's role, both in attack and defense. This slide set is the role of the outside midfielder, which is RM and LM, right midfield and left midfield. This slideshow will cover the skill sets needed to play outside midfield, their roles and responsibilities, and their position on the field in attack. So the outside midfielders, the first part about them is they create width, and in turn width opens up passing lanes. Width stretches the opponents if they go with our width, and creates holes for us to go through, and if width doesn't, it creates us passing options on the outside of the field. Supporting angle, so our right midfielder supports 3 people in the striker 8, the centre midfielder 5, and the right defender. And you can look at all the angles of support they make. So there's our diamond in the attacking third, our diamond shape made here. So it's important that they're aware of where the other central players are, so we don't support them in a straight line. So we've always got these passing angles, so it gives us more options in the pass. You can see our diamond here, our diamond with 4 coming into it, but our triangle with 5 and 2. And these are the general people that they look to support when they're in possession of the ball. One other role for our outside mids is to create space for fullback. So them being aware of the space that's outside. So here our right midfield and our left midfield are both pinched inside for a pass, and we're looking to create this open space for our outside defenders to come in, making us have a 4-player midfield and overload our midfield area. When they go out, obviously opens up a passing lane to our striker. So once in, it opens that passing lane up for our wide players. Once out, could open the passing lane for the striker. And one role is that they create 2v1 in wide channels with the outside defender. To do this, they need to be able to hold the ball up. One weakness of our current outside midfielders is when they get the ball, they run forward with it as quick as they can. What we want from our outside midfielders is when they receive the ball, is when making connection with pressure, that they hold the ball long enough for our outside defenders to go up and overlap, as seen in previous slides. Our defender here has 2 choices in staying with the player or tracking the fullback. If the player stays with the midfielder, then our fullback is in. Also, one other thing is for them to create a 2v1 in the midfield third. So here 7, our left midfielder, has received a pass. We have our centre midfielder making 2v1 in, and where our second defender comes from is key. So our fullback has overlapped our outside midfielder, and if our second defender, highlighted here, chooses to stay on ball and stay central and stop the pass into the centre midfielder, then the decision making of the outside midfielder goes with the outside defender. If the second defender here chooses to go on the fullback, then the pass either goes central or to the striker. So on receiving that pass, wherever our outside midfielder is, it's important for them not to just see the pressure that comes on first, but also the cover that comes in second, and then play against it. So as you can see, our fullback here, which was our second defender, decided to go with our outside defender, and it created a passing lane into our striker. So as you can see, one other role is for them to open space for the strikers. So as you can see, our left mid currently is not giving us a good angle of support. Although we do have a triangle, and we have a good shape in here. We have passing angles that are taken up. When our outside mid goes wide, it opens up that passing lane for the striker if the defender goes. If the defender doesn't go with them and stays central, then our outside midfielder can get the ball and play into our striker. If the ball is switched across, so here the ball is played inside to our center midfielder. Look at our width that's been established here. So our width has created that open passing lane for our striker. If that passing lane is not taken, even when we are 2v1 down, if our outside midfielders develop the ability to dribble for possession and shield and hold the ball, and wait for that fullback to get in behind that outside defender, is going to go and try and get behind them. It does this. It takes away that second defender. So what was once a 2v1 down situation for player 6, when fullback got into this position, it was now 2v2, as the fullback takes away that defender with their run, due to the outside midfielder holding the ball. It's created a 1v1 isolation for our outside midfielder dribble in and attack, and now we have the choice of either going for goal or playing combination play with it. So just to recap, what I want you to think about as an outside midfielder is the skill set you need. First, you've got to have the ability to dribble the ball and to be comfortable in possession of the ball. Can you take players on 1v1 and having that threat? The other thing is you've got to be comfortable with holding the ball up to allow fullbacks to overlap and being aware of that support. So being good at shielding. And the other thing is the timing. So as that fullback run goes, the timing to either play the fullback in that overlaps you, or to use them as a decoy, that run, and then attack a central area. So using other people's movement to create that space. But it's important that our outside midfielders get used to that fullback coming forward no matter what, and then making a decision based on pressure. So recognizing out of possession who they support when the ball is going into these people, and the ball is going into our fullback, our centre mid, and our striker, that we provide those diamonds. It's important that our outside midfielders recognize that they create passing lanes by starting wide and then starting central and then getting wide. And it's important with the timing part and the shielding and the holding up that they're able to hold the ball up long enough in attack and in the midfield for that fullback or centre mid to create that 2v1, and recognize the isolation that could create.